Okay, marriage. How many people here are married? How many have ever been married? More than once? More than twice? Anybody 3 times or more? You're not going to admit it, are you? Oh, yay! I have somebody else in my league. Okay. So I have been married a number of times. And I had a girlfriend named Coco that used to live in the area. And Coco would laugh because I'd be telling a story and I would identify my ex-husbands. Because if I just say my ex-husband did this or that, you don't know which asshole I'm talking about, right? I mean, it could be number 1, 2, or 3. So I have to have identifying factors about them. So husband number 1 was at the ripe age of 16, I got married. And no, I'm not from Arkansas. But I got married at 16 and was married for about 2.5 years. And my feeling on that one, I just call him my first husband, but I think that really should technically be expunged from my record. Right? I mean, if I had stolen a car, you wouldn't even know about it now. That would have been expunged. So I think that the marriage should have been expunged a long time ago, and I should not have had to even discuss it with people. We're wiped out, right? Everybody? Okay, everybody agree with that? Yeah. From here on out, I've never been married the first time. The second husband I refer to as the father of my children because he's the father of my children, so that was clever on my part, because I'm clever like that. And the third husband I typically refer to as the financial fuck-up. And that's just one of his many traits, but he definitely was. And another thing was, they actually made a song about him. Every time, you know how I knew when he was lying? His mouth was open. And he was, I'm not even kidding, the guy is a pathological liar. And so they made that song, you know, if his mouth is open, he must be lying. So that's how I refer to the 3 husbands. So as I said, I don't think that the first one should really count. But so Don and I, you guys saw Don up here. We're not technically married yet. I think he's thinking about it. I'm not really sure. But I noticed, people say to me, "Well, you don't need another wedding. You've had a few weddings." What the fuck? If you guys know me, I have a birthday every year. Every single year I have a birthday. And if you know me, I make a big fucking deal out of my birthday. I mean, we do 30 days of birthday. When I turned 60, I did 60 days of birthday. And the first thing, when I get involved with a man, the first thing I do is I tell them a story about my kid's father. Do you remember which number he was? Number 2. I tell a story right out of the gate with a man when I started to date him about how he was really a great guy, a great gift buyer, and then my first birthday came, and we were away on a business trip, and I thought in the morning there'd be gifts. There was no gift. I thought at lunchtime I was going to go down to this conference to meet him, and there would be a big to-do. There was no to-do. By afternoon, when he came back from the meetings, I was really despondent or perhaps outraged. And he says, "What is wrong with you?" I said, "There was no gift for my birthday." He goes, "I was going to take you to the jewelry store downstairs and let you buy anything you wanted." I go, "Oh, no, we don't do afterthought. We do it up front. I expect a card, I expect a gift." So I tell that story to every man I get involved with so they know the expectations. And then I further go, and I like it all 30 days for the month. My daughter goes, "Mom, how do you get away with this?" I go, "I set expectations. That's what I do." So to think that I would have a wedding, I mean, come on, you guys, how many times am I going to get married in my life? 5, 6, 8, right? Maybe 10. But I'm 61 years old. I've had 61 birthdays I celebrated. I'm celebrating the goddamn wedding. Okay? So when that happens. So have you ever noticed, like, you can go buy a cake. I could go right now and buy a cake at Costco, and I'll feed you all here for like $18, right? But if I say wedding cake, it's suddenly a $900 cake. And I don't understand because there's not even any color that they have to put in the frosting. They have saved money already by putting an all-white cake. So, honey, if it's the cake that's throwing you, we'll just put happy birthday. And we'll save money. Somebody at that wedding will think it'll be their birthday and they'll think we care about them. Yeah, so we can do that. But the other thing is, you know those punch cards you get at different businesses? And they give you like a free meal or a free whatever. Honey, I have a punch card and I'm getting 1 free wedding cake on the next one. So you don't even have to worry. You don't even have to worry, okay? I just want you to know that. It makes me think of, there's a story about, there's a guy, and this woman wakes up in the middle of the night and her husband's not in bed next to her. And she's like, well, that's really weird. Where would he be? So she goes wandering down the stairs, rubbing her eyes, and there he sits at the kitchen table. And he's just got his head in his hands and he's just looks terrible, and she thinks, did he get a call? Did something happen to his parents? Did one of the kids? What's wrong? She goes, honey, what's wrong? What's going on? And he said, do you remember when we were dating and you were 16 and I was 19 and we were in the backseat of my car and your father found us doing the wild thing? She goes, I do remember that. It was pretty uncomfortable. He goes, do you remember what he said to me? She says, yeah, I remember. He told you had a choice. You could either marry me or you could go to prison for 20 years. He goes, yeah, I would have been out tomorrow. So, you know, it could be a sentence either way, you guys. One or the other. You're either out or in, but it could be a sentence. So that's why I say, you know, you guys, if don't judge me. Don't judge me on the fact that I've been married 3 times, because at least I have the balls to get out and move on when it's not working out. There could be people here, you know, you could have been in a bad thing for a long time. You just haven't had the balls to get out of it. So do not judge me. That's all I'm going to say.